Welcome everybody to another World of Tanks replay. My name is Maxwell and this one is from the user, bear with me while I absolutely butcher the pronunciation of his name, Anton Avagianis. And we're just going to call him Anton from now on. He's driving the Cromwell B on a standard battle on Erlenberg, or Derpenberg. So, yeah, as you may have guessed from the title, this one is going to be one hell of a match. It is slow and methodical though, so get yourselves ready, get comfortable, and enjoy the show. It is slow, it is methodical, it is incredibly well played by Anton here. So like I said, just sit back, relax, get comfortable, and enjoy the next 15 or so minutes. And just scored a T24, and he's coming charging forward. Anton gets 2 hits on him, and then decides to fall back. Doesn't take any damage in return, so that is a fantastic trade from him. Not wanting to leave himself poking out just in case. He'd already started moving before he scored a return fire and just did yellow damage to his track. So you can understand why he didn't want to hang around for the 3rd shot and possibly the kill. Just happy with the 2 hits. Getting a 2-shot trade with no damage in return is a great start to the match. Pulls himself up, finds a Churchill Mark 1. Lands a lovely shot on him as well. You can see he's still stealthed as well, hiding behind all of these bushes. Churchill Mark 1 is a little bit safe now. Pretty hull down. Anton can't quite get the shot on him. A Churchill Mark 3 has come forward. He decides to fall back just in case, because the Churchill Mark 3's gun did swing in his direction, but he was aiming at the Excelsior. You can see every time he gets spotted, he moves back from the bushes and from the hill, waits until his stealth kicks back in, and then moves back towards the hill. Doesn't want to take a hit from the enemy artillery. Finds a T-150 here. T-150 is going to be pretty hard to damage. Fires at the KV-1S instead, as he has slightly softer armor. You can see the Burt just behind him here doing good work. The FV-304 has a fantastic reload speed. This scored a T-24 is still alive as well, but it's going to be difficult for Anton to get a hit on him with the gun depression of the Cromwell. Didn't get spotted going over the top there, so that is good news. Finds a T-14 and a T-1 heavy, going to allow his gun to focus in. I found that the gun of the Cromwell does tend to be a little bit unreliable at range. Even if you let it focus completely in, the shots do tend to go awry a little bit. You can see him already moving to the right to aim at a different target while his shell was still in the air, but that one just about bounced. Now switching his attention to the T-150, he's doing a great job of putting consistent shots into the enemy whilst remaining in stealth. But like I said, the unreliability of this Cromwell gun, you can see its hard stats are 145 pen and 135 damage. At tier 6, that can be a little bit unreliable, especially when shooting at T-150s. Finds a Churchill Mark 3. Gets a good shot through his front. Got to be careful, because the Churchill Mark 3 has a gun that will just absolutely wreck a Cromwell. Cromwell doesn't have great armor, and the rate of fire from the Churchill Mark 3 will just burn him down in no time whatsoever. Keeping great eyes on the enemy tanks as they roll in here, but finding it very, very difficult to put damaging shots through the side of this T-150. Does get one there, and he moves forward. Gets a tracking shot on the T-14. He repairs instantly. He doesn't want to be caught out in the open there. And I think it may be time to admit that discretion should be the better part of valor, because while we've been in sniper mode, shooting all of the things, his team is losing 6 kills to 12. It is now 6 kills to 13. It is now 2 versus 9 with this Burt. He has not paid attention to the map though, so he's probably going to get taken out pretty soon. Finds a Hellcat, and this is the most agonizing time of any World of Tanks game, when you've got to sit there out in the open and allow your gun time to aim in on a target. Misses and bounces a shot from the ELC, which is a little bit unfortunate. Does take some damage from the ELC, and the ELC's got quite a big gun. ELC has missed now, so Anton knows he's got 10 seconds. Hopefully knows he's got 10 seconds before this ELC has reloaded. Going to flank around him. He has got the speed and agility to do just that. The ELC desperately trying to traverse to get a hit. He does get a hit. And that was a nice hit, but in the meantime, the Burt, the FV304, has fallen and leaving it at a 1 versus 7. He did mop up the ELC, so that leaves it at a 1 versus 6 now. And now the smart positioning comes into play. Almost all of the enemy team over on that left-hand flank. It's just the artillery that hasn't been spotted out, so everybody, like I said, is going to be over on this left-hand side, going to be moving in towards the base now. They've had some time to move up. They are all heavy tanks. Anton just knocking this tree down to give himself a little bit of cover. Not quite got the gun depression. T14 moving around behind the houses. Decides to back off, as that may not be enough cover, and if enough people come around the corner at once, he's going to take 2 or 3 hits in the face, and that is going to be all she wrote for him. Focusing in on the T14. He hasn't been spotted, although he has now as the guns move squarely in his direction. That is a very lucky bounce, as that could have been disastrous. 2 tanks in the cap circle, 40 seconds left on the clock. He's going to fall back, try and get into a position where he can hopefully fire at the enemy tanks whilst remaining hidden. Uses this bush here, and he's got a corpse on his right-hand side, so that even if he does get spotted, he's got a lot of cover. Looks like he's not getting spotted. Resets quickly on the T1, then switches back to the T14 to eliminate him as quickly as possible. He is eliminated. That just leaves the T1 Heavy. T1 Heavy starts to back away, going to use the corpse of his fallen ally maybe as cover. But I think the T1 Heavy is considerably larger than the T14. As you can see, he's got all the shots in the world on the turret here. There's going to be nothing this T1 Heavy can do apart from lucky bounces. Nothing is going to save him. There we go. Gets the shot. Gets kill number 5. 3,000 points of damage has reset the cap a few times now. It's now only 4 versus 1, but that's still fairly insurmountable, especially with only 260 health. That Churchill Mark III is still alive, and this Churchill Mark III will burn through that 260 health very, very quickly. Although he only has 172 hit points himself, but in the time it's going to take Anton to fire 2 shots, that Churchill Mark III could just absolutely wreck him. Not to mention the KV-1, if he's got a derp, that's just going to blast this Cromwell to pieces. And the 2 artillery pieces as well. Going to sit here just in case one of those tanks came back to his own base to maybe do some defense. As you never know, they may have seen what just happened to their 2 allies in the cap circle. And to be honest, if they were heading towards the cap circle, they would have arrived at the same time as their ally. There we go. There's the Churchill Mark III and the M44. Anton is spotted. He's going to have to try and get into cover as quickly as possible. Cover is found. Going to wait for his camo to kick back in before he pops his head out. Going to see if he can find anybody, but nobody popping up as targets just yet. He's doing his best to try and find a target to fire at, but there's nobody presenting themselves just yet. Somebody else is in the cap circle. Churchill Mark III and the M44 both get flagged up now. Looks like he hasn't been spotted, although the M44 is pre-aiming on this location. You can see as he panics as he gets hit. And Anton's sixth sense didn't go off, which means he did not get spotted doing that. And that was excellent work. Going to move towards the cap circle now. This is either the Birch gun or the KV-1. Shot lands there, probably from the Birch gun, so I'm guessing the guy in the cap circle is probably the KV-1. Just going to speed this up until we arrive back at the action. Just going to head around to this left-hand side, see if he can spot out if it's the Birch gun or the KV-1. Probably expecting it to be the KV-1. There he is. Looks like he is driving around. He doesn't have the derp gun. He does. Looks like he has the long 57. If he even gets to mount the 57, so this could be dangerous. Pretty sure that gun has a very high rate of fire and a very good penetration as well. This could be dangerous for Anton. Let's see what this KV-1 does. Knows his camo's kicked back in because the KV-1's has as well. Gets another hit on the KV-1. KV-1 just starts blind firing at the bushes that Anton used to be in. Guess he's not paying attention to his hood and where those shots are actually coming from. And that is going to be his downfall. He is taken out for kill number 7. 3,800 points of damage. But again, he's running low on ammunition. 1 AP shell, 6 APCR, and 5 HE. If he doesn't absolutely spam these shots. That should be more than enough. Going to head back up now to the A line, possibly 9 and 10. Let's see if we can get eyes on this Churchill Mark III now. Sitting in the bush from before. No Churchill Mark III. Which means it's probably going to be safe to move forward. Finds the birch gun. And that long agonising moment that you have to wait for the gun to close in. Gets one hit. Gonna get another. That's kill number 8. A well-deserved Radley Walters medal. And 4,000 points of damage. That just leaves the Churchill Mark III. Does get spotted. Not sure if that is from the Churchill Mark III lurking somewhere around here. Or whether that's from the birch gun. It is from the Churchill. Churchill lands 2 good hits. 2 solid hits. And Anton reacted just quick enough to get himself into cover. As the Churchill takes about 160 health off him. 2 hits from this Churchill Mark III will be enough to take him out now. He's got to play this one very, very carefully and very, very tactically. Sees the Churchill Mark III in his left-hand side. Going to hide behind the building. Just allow that stealth to kick back in. Because he's got to get at least 2 shots on this Churchill Mark III. Now he's got to come up with the decision about whether to cap the base out. Or whether to try and outflank and outmaneuver this Churchill. He decides to go for the outmaneuver. Going to get into position here and hopefully see if the Churchill Mark III comes all the way back to his base. Looks like the Churchill Mark III is just happy with his position at the moment. So Anton playing very risky here. Coming down the number 3 line on the left-hand side of this ridge. Going to maybe look at going across the river here. He's got to be aware that he's only got 1 minute and 50 left on the clock. Finds the Churchill Mark III. Churchill Mark III. Is he looking this direction? He's not. He's looking the other way. Has a shot. He gets spotted. He's got to try and decide which way he wants to go. Churchill Mark III is almost certainly going to have turned around now. His camo will have kicked back in. He's going to try and reposition himself. Maybe go for the ridge line. The one that's been his friend for the whole game. Down to 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. If he could pull this off as well, this would be a 1 versus 7 victory for himself. If he gets himself caught out in the open, though, could be all she wrote, because this Churchill has a fantastic rate of fire. Looks like he's got the rear of this Churchill again, gets 1 good hit. The Churchill doesn't know what to do. He backs off. He gets the 2nd shot. That is the kill. That is the win. And that is an awesome replay there from Anton, picking himself up over 4,000 points of damage, 9 kills, 1 versus 7. That's a Kolobanov's medal. That's a Radley Walters medal. That is an awesome game played there. So thank you very much for sending that replay in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, send that into replay@screenreality.com. A link for that's in the description. I've been Maxwell. This has been a World of Tanks replay, and I'll catch you guys next time.